What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel, and thanks for tuning in on another video. So we're kind of already into this video just a little bit, and y'all are on video. You better be good. So we've already started in on this, pulling this rear diff apart that I have recently purchased to toss the welded diff that's currently in the car. And we got these S1 built locking plates, and they are right here. So this product can be found on S1's website. These take place, and they're much more beefier, as you can see. They take place of these original plates that have the little pads on them. And there's actually a bunch of these. So the thickness of the S1 plates actually compensate for all of these. And as you know, once the rear diff gets so hot, and these little pads that work as like a brake pad and similar, once they get worn down, then the rear diff will actually stop pulling. And if you ever hear like a whining noise, like a like that in a CRV or anything like that, and it's coming from the rear diff, that's usually a sign that the clutch discs are actually burned up and they're not getting any friction to cause that rear diff to actually pull. So we're going to go ahead and finish up where we left off. Like I said, I started this without the camera, so I figured I'd go ahead and pick up the camera and take off with it. So I'll show you something right underneath this pump. If I can get the pump off with one hand. Probably not. There we go. Alright, so when you're doing this, S1 has a video up on their YouTube channel. So there's a few things that you're not going to need no more, since we're not providing fluid to the pump itself. So those things are already tossed. They're all right here. This little collar sleeve, this pin, the screen for the pump. Because like I said, we're no longer actually using the pump. It's just more so being there to assemble the rest of the unit. But on the shaft of the input shaft of the diff, there is a groove right inside the shaft, like right in the center of it, that actually hides behind the pump. There's a groove right here that they recommend welding, because that's usually the weak point after what we're doing, and we do not want this shaft to actually snap in half right here, because it does like groove inside. It's a little notch, so they recommend welding it. So I went ahead and, as you can see, I used my flux core, but I got it all welded up and smoothing down. That way the pump can slide back over it, like so. And then, there we go, just like that. And we'll get that guy spun around, get these bolt holes lined up, and we'll be able to go ahead and get this assembled. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the phone up, put it on time lapse, so I can go ahead and knock this out real quick, get these discs in here, and get everything sewed back up, because I like to go ahead and slap this underneath the car and be done with it. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, now that we got pump is completely bolted back down, we got all these little pieces inside here, which no one actually stuck to it. So we got all of our little plates. We got the one. So every one of these, that one, you got to be able to see the one. and they all got to be facing in the same area. So you got to line them completely up. All the thicker ones will go first, which they explain in their video. This is not really a how-to or an install video. So all the thicker plates actually go in first, and then you put the thinner, that last thin one, at the top, and then you put this guy right here. You take that spring off, that goes in that little notch at the top, which is right here, that little clip. You take that off, and this actually faces down, like so. And you just slide it into the grooves, and that's what helps lock all the plates in. And then this guy right here will actually face down, like so, and you just lock it into place, and it should look something like that. And then now we can go ahead and run our RTV gasket maker all the way around this case and butt this up to the diff and get it all sealed back up, and then put our hardware back in, which is right here. We got 4 short ones for the top, and then the 4 longer ones for the bottom. Hence why this is a little bit thicker right here. And then your shorter ones go right up to there. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get this sealed back up and get the hardware in, get it tightened up, and we should be ready to put this thing underneath the car and then go ahead and start pumping some fluid in it, which running the same thing that I put in my transmission. Some max gears, 75 140. All right. Yeah, I just realized I bought 75 140 instead of 75 90. Right there. So it looks like I'll be taking this back to AutoZone. Yay. That's what happens when you don't pay attention. So I bought the wrong gear oil. So we'll go ahead and we'll get that exchanged out. We're not at that point yet, so that's okay. We'll go ahead and get this sealed back up, and then we'll worry about that in a minute. All right, so we got the diff completely sealed back up. We're just gonna let this dry. While we're doing that, we're gonna go ahead and come to the back of the car and get this jacked up so we can go ahead and pull this other diff out, the one that is currently welded up. And I welded the gears up on the back side. I left the gears open on that diff over there, so we're gonna use just the lock in place itself. So we'll go ahead and get this thing jacked up and get this one pulled out while that one is drying. All right, So as you seen in that last little time lapse, I was having some issues getting the driver's side axle out. For some odd reason, that was giving me a good fight, but the passenger side did not take nothing at all for it to come out. But we got everything completely out. Here's the old one that was underneath the car. We got the new one right here, getting ready to go in. So we'll go ahead and add us a little bit extra light. I got this little tripod thing. I don't know if you can see that. So it's got a little light on it. I'll use the reflection of the window. Yeah, it's dirty, very dirty, but it's on the inside. So it's got a little microphone set up, and I kind of like it. It's just a little cheap tripod from Walmart. Mainly because I'm trying to use my phone. Because in my last video, I lost some content off my GoPro that did not. I'm assuming it's because my GoPro just died. So yeah, got a nice little setup that I'm kind of working with. So we got this diff. I was going to paint it and stuff, but right now I think I'm just going to go ahead and just throw it up underneath the car. And that way I can get this thing back down on the ground and get some fluid into that, which I did. Go back to AutoZone and got that 7590 instead of that 75140. So we'll go ahead and get that in there. Got everything ready to go, everything laid back out. So we'll go ahead and get you set up and go ahead and get this unit slapped up in there and get this thing back down on the ground and possibly take it for a test drive tomorrow, which it's currently 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, not sure yet. So it's kind of early and I couldn't sleep, so I figured I'd come down here and wrap this video up. Alright guys, I got everything back together now. We got the diff completely mounted up. Everything is tight. Drive shaft is connected and it's tighted as well. We got the lower control arm bolts going into the all-wheel drive hubs. It was easier for me to actually undo it from here and go ahead and swing everything out to get the axle out, and vice versa, put it back in, just slide it into the hub and then pull everything back out this way and then slide that in back in. So everything went back together great. The only thing that I have left to do is put the gear oil in, which I will do that tomorrow. I got to tighten up these axle nuts, and that should be it. I don't want to fire up the air compressor and use the air gun, mainly because it is early in the morning and my wife has work here in about 4 or 5 hours, and kids are asleep. I do not want to wake anybody up, so I will do that tomorrow. I'm probably just gonna hang out in the garage for a little bit, go over the car, because I really would like to drive this thing in this video, at least through the neighborhood, just to get a feel if everything's gonna be good. All right, so it is the next day, and as you can see, got the car back on the ground. The diff's back in. Everything's good to go. And all that's left now is to start this bad girl up. And we'll back it out and see how it feels. So we'll go ahead and get you set up right here and we'll see what happens. Take two. Try this again. Alright, still did. Alright, take three. Where are you going?
Huh?
Where are you going?
Why not be so loud? It did.
Well, alright guys, I got the battery charged up. He is running now. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to back it up and see if it does that really bad shaking. Look at that. So we'll see if it's doing that really bad shaking real quick when I try to move it. Yep, and this is why, boys and girls, you always check your hardware. Check your bolts. Watch this. You ready? Watch this. Right here. That'll do it. So, looks like that was our issue the whole freaking time, man. The whole time. That was it. The whole time, man. this breaker real quick.
Dada,
What, buddy?
why you not put it outside?
Because Dad found out the issue.
Why? Why, Dada?
Because Dad been fighting an issue with this car shaking, and I finally figured out what it was. I knew it had to be something drivetrain, man. And I thought it was that welded diff. I thought when I welded the gears that it was shaking like that. So I mean, it looks like we got us a backup diff. I mean, it's welded, but it's ready to go.
Look.
So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing jacked up, and I'll show you all exactly what I'm talking about, just in case you couldn't see on the camera, because I mean, this tripod that I got, it may not actually show the full underneath of the car. So I'm gonna go ahead and jack this up real quick, get it on its side, and I'll show y'all. All right, boys and girls, this is what I was talking about, right? So disregard my crappy welds, but they're holding. That's my movement and vibration I was talking about. These are literally just hand tight, front and back. But the actual mount itself up here to these are tight. It's just where the drive shaft mounts to, right in the center. These two center ones right here, those right there, are literally hand tight. Oh my Lord. And I said I was going to do a bolt check last night, and I literally did not. That's probably a good reason why. That we got some vibration going on. I think it's a 15 and should be like a 6 millimeter or 5/16. Something like that. We'll go ahead and get them tightened up there, bud. The what?
You do it all.
Yeah, I'm starting it up. You ready?
Yeah.
You better move them cars behind me. You better move them trucks.
Hello.
Well, hurry up. I ain't going nowhere. I'm just going to start it. Make sure I ain't going to run over them. So the wife helped me do just a quick little alignment on it. Pretty sure the front should be alright, but I really wanted to get the back because I know the rear is like completely like way off. So I wanted to make sure that it was going to be good. And now I'm actually about to take my first drive through the neighborhood. And I have no place to mount this, so I apologize. Probably just going to set you all up. You ain't going to be able to see the road or anything. But I will get you all set up to where y'all can watch. Put y'all right there. Put our seatbelts on. That camera kind of fell, but we're actually doing it. It says we're in third gear, but we're actually in second. Still needs an alignment pretty bad. I'm still a little shaky. Alright. Made it back. Coolant temps aren't crazy, so that's good. Air, fuel, oil pressure's good. So I don't know why it's saying that we're in first gear because we're definitely not. It's probably trying to pick up speed, maybe. So I gotta get that reset. I gotta get everything calibrated. Because I'm assuming it picks up at least 1 mile per hour, and it's thinking that we're not in neutral no more, which we are currently. But everything checked out good. Everything revs up good. Got good oil pressure when it revs up. Just pretty much got to check that out. Temps still good. Should go back down to 190. And I got to recalibrate the TPS, and then also try to calibrate the speed, and everything should be good. So I know the driving quality of that clip was not the best, as you can tell with the camera falling over. I'm assuming the car still needs quite a bit of an alignment. It feels like something's actually like rubbing up front, like as far as axles. I don't know why. but it feels like something is actually like rubbing, and it shouldn't, because it doesn't matter how fast it's going. I can actually feel it. I do know the ABS rings did come off of these axles. They're 36 millimeter OEM RS like Type S axles from AutoZone, and I actually cut the ABS ring off so it can fit into the hub. And these are Carcep hubs. I don't know, just something felt weird. It could just, maybe I need to double check the alignment in the front. Maybe I didn't even do it. I'm assuming I did. It's kind of close. I mean, you ain't really gonna be able to see it on camera. Okay, well maybe it's off just a little bit. Maybe, because it looks like this one's kind of pointed in, like more so this way than that one is. The hell? Yeah, everything still checked out good though. So, pretty proud of myself to be a garage built car and starting out in a storage unit. So, everything came together good. So, didn't blow up. I did kind of get in on it coming up the road here onto our little cul-de-sac right by our driveway. And the wife says she did hear the turbo spool up a little bit, which it does. So everything should be working. I think as of right now, we just need to get an alignment and we should be ready to get on the dyno. I got insurance on the car right now, which we got that proof of insurance. And I applied for a custom license plate, which should be in here probably about 3 weeks or so. They told me it could be up to 6 weeks. And once that comes in, then we'll be able to actually drive the car. But I'm probably going to haul it to the alignment shop, go ahead and make sure everything's straightened out, everything's good to go. And then we'll be able to actually take it into town, and I'll take it up the road like I usually do on everything else I work on for my little test drive road. And we'll make sure everything's good from there. So that is the next thing to do on the list. So be sure to leave a like on this video, guys. We are getting there. Like it's so close. Probably going to change a few things suspension-wise too before I get the alignment. Because you kind of see it got a little bit of negative camber right there, and those upper control arms are non-adjustable, so I'll probably have to get some adjustable control arms and see if that will help as well with the alignment. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. Just leave a like, shoot a comment below, anything you got on this, and yep, we'll see you on the next one.